The following program was paid for by Southern American Media.
Fox 30 welcomes you to Meridian's favorite TV personalities and three-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and this is Debbie.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Debbie took a little bit of cough medicine that has changed her whole appearance.
Yeah, I mean, that was some good stuff. I don't cough, so my voice got a little deeper.
It did. Yeah. Debbie, her cough got a little bit worse, and she texted me at, I think at 3 this morning. She goes, look, I'm not so sure about this. I need to rest up a little bit more. That cough that is going around and floating through neighborhoods is just horrible.
It is.
Has your family gotten it yet?
Well, a couple of us have gotten the coughing fits, but nothing else really came out of it, which is good. But this time of year, temperature doesn't know what it's going to do. Is it going to get hot? Is it going to get cold? Is it going to be dry? Is it going to be wet? So
next thing you know, you're hacking, and it's just these summertime or winter colds are bad, and it's so hard to determine if you've got the old-fashioned cold or do you have COVID.
Yeah, is it sinuses or is it COVID?
Get a shot and roll on about your business, and I hope everybody gets to feeling better because it just does not. It's not good, and I do hope Deb has a speedy recovery from this as we begin. Hey, we got several phone calls about no water this morning. There's going to be a lot of grumpy people in Long Creek area today. No water.
Ooh, that's tough. I know what it's like. I can't do anything without getting a shower in the morning. So,
but if you've got a complaint, you're more than welcome to get in touch with Clarkdale and ask for Greg. He handles anytime there's problems with any other water department. Yeah. He's on it.
He's good.
Yep.
And he has a very personality that's a people person.
He is. So, got elected and all to that.
Yeah. So, I mean, why not? They wanted him over there at Clarkdale. So.
Yeah, I think he could help over there this morning, couldn't he?
Why not? Come on, Greg, get up.
There's nothing worse than thinking you're getting ready to walk out the door to go to work, and you got 20 minutes to take your shower, and you turn it on, and it doesn't work.
Yeah. That's kind of like this morning when you texted me at 5:40 and
said hey,
and I said, well, I guess I need to get up and get a shower. At least I had some water. I wouldn't have been here with you.
I didn't think you would appreciate the phone call at 3, so I waited on that.
I'm glad you gave me an hour and a half.
Let's see. Be cautious in the area of Causeyville. There's a near Long Creek Baptist Church. There's a deer that's been bumped in the road that's been hit. Come around the curve, it's lying in the road, so y'all be careful that we got a message of that this morning also. Now, there was a lot of things that went on over the weekend. As we start talking about things, if you're going down 8th Street near remember where the bank robbery was a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
There's a liquor store that sits there to the right. We did have somebody that owned their very own crowbar last night that thought, well, they could just pick up what they wanted any time.
They had a universal key.
Yeah, and they were trying to stick it in the lock in the back. Didn't work out for them. They didn't get in, but they did attempt last night.
Well, at least they got...
The Meridian Police Department did come.
Got foiled in it, so they got called out.
They took off a running. And you hate it when that goes on. I got another place that I was going to mention that has got... let me see here. Let me drag up my Karl Rove notebook, y'all.
That's your Palm Pilot.
This is it right here. It tells a little bit of everything. Let's see here. I had another place that had Highway 19. That's not it. I had a church where somebody had tried to get into. Yeah, let's see here. The 2000 block of 18th Street. We had some criminals that wanted to go in and pray in the middle of the night.
And broke in.
Yes.
To the Lord's home.
Yeah, they were trying really hard. Got the door open.
That's just terrible. Used to, when we were growing up, a church,
man,
the door stayed open so you could go in and talk to the Lord. And now the back part and the offices and everything else was secured.
But the
sanctuary was open so you could walk in and now...
And that's no joke, it was. Terrible. I remember the first time that I went to a church store and it was locked, and it was like, why would you want to do this?
Yeah.
You're keeping people out.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's no choice. How America has changed.
Yeah, it was. It's something to see. In the middle of a church service, you have to lock the doors and have somebody standing there in case somebody wants to come in. It's late, and open the door for them and let them in and lock it on the way back. We've definitely got into an area in society that's...
Well, we have armed security guards that have to be in churches now.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you would live to see that day, Odie?
Never did I think you would have problems with cars being broke into at a church or the church itself being broke into.
And I apologize. Totally I meant to tell everybody who you were. Maybe not everybody knows. This is Odie Barrett. He is the director of the Lauderdale County Emergency Management. When things go south in the county, this is the man that they call when there's trouble. There's a missing person, anything like that, or a disaster. He is the man that shows up on the scene.
They love to call my phone.
I do it 2 or 3 times a day just to say I did.
Yeah, and that's all right. I can deal with that. I'm used to, like you texting at 4 something this morning. I'm used to it going off.
And he's also, if you ever wondered who is the guy that decides if we're going to have school or not.
That does come up a good bit. I always say I don't make the choice. I give you the information I've got. I don't want to be the one that says, yeah, he's the one that said no, stay home, and it looked great, or no, go to school, and it rained. And I tell you, they've got a tough job making that decision. Do we go? Do we stay?
And all you can do is give the information of what you have at that moment.
Yeah.
And as we all know, weather changes within a split second, and you have to just guess at that.
And hope. I mean, because everything is a future.
It is.
And we hope we can see it coming. But
I also wanted to bring this up also last night. If you were traveling down 5th Street, where it runs into 22nd Avenue, headed toward the 3-foot building, and happened to see the guy dragging the catalytic converter, you did see what you saw.
Oh, I tell you,
he got away into the darkness with his catalytic converter. We don't know who is missing theirs yet, but he was real proud of it, toting it right under his arm there, getting it.
So if you've got a car in that area, go check it. You may have a loud noise this morning.
Yeah, and I had 4 or 5 people text me and say, hey, I just saw this guy. That looks a little peculiar. And I do think it was reported to the Meridian Police Department of things. The only thing that we have not gotten a report on in the last 3 to 4 weeks is Naked Man. He's been very calm. Yeah. He's staying clothed and at home. He's chill. But warmer weather, I expect at any moment.
Well, it's going to dry up a little bit and get a little warmer, so he may come back out of the bushes, and he may go try and find Naked Woman.
Yeah, she's been floating around. So. Millie says good morning to everyone. Also, Wally says you do a great job for the community, and they wanted to thank you for that.
Well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that, and that makes me feel better.
Well, a lot of questions we'll get into that they go on behind the scenes that a lot of us go, well, I know about that, but I don't understand it. And he's going to help us out with a few of those things this morning as we start this and ask some of those behind the scene things. But we got a lot more local events that went on over the weekend. A lot of things that went boom in the middle of the night. We're going to tell you about that next, where they were and what happened this weekend. Y'all stay close. We'll be right back. If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is the place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 invites you by to take a look at a brand new product they've got. Odes, ATVs, and UTVs. These side-by-sides range from 800 to 1,000 cc's, and they come with heat or air. Whether you're doing work around the farm or hunting, they've got the unit just for you to keep warm or cool, depending upon that Mississippi and Alabama day. Swing by for a test drive today at Freeman Tractor. See coleslaw, buttermilk, and don't forget you can meet their newest employee, Eggplant. That's Freeman Tractor, Highway 494.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
Good morning to Miss Yvonne Magruder. She's watching us from the big city of Enterprise. We do appreciate that. And Debbie Gabriel says you're the bomb.
Man, look at that. I tell you, Miss Debbie is the bomb, too. I've known her for a long time, and I guess you could say we kind of worked together.
Yeah.
Worked for different companies, but did the same stuff. We supported each other. And
Sweet lady.
Great. Yes, she is.
Now, before you head out this morning, let's talk about this because it is a little bit slower drive this morning. Let's pull up Meridian Honda radar as you'll see here. All of this yellow stuff, this is fog as we go here to the Meridian area. Now, all down here around Waynesboro, it's thick. But as we begin equipment and go north through Meridian, all the way up through Marion and into the edge of Kemper County, past the Ralph Morgan Rodeo, this will put you just about to where 2 Mile Bottom is. As we go west following I-20, look at all this fog. And it gets worse the further north you go, just above Louisville. So be careful, leave home a little bit earlier than you normally do for all of this.
Definitely. The fog, the wet roads, still a little bit of a mist. And it's not real safe to be out there and then being in a hurry. School buses and everything else. So leave a little early.
That's right. Let's talk about gunshots at this point of what went on over the weekend. If you were at home and you think, I heard something, was that a firecracker? I don't have all of them, but I do have several honorable mentions this morning that I do know happened over the weekend. We start as we go here to the 38th Avenue. Gunshots were reported at 38th Avenue, the 2200 block. Now, no one was hurt in this, but gunshots were seen coming from a white vehicle fleeing the scene. And what I mean by that was everybody that called me and told me about this said, out the window, boom, boom, and boom.
Not aiming, just
up in the air.
Riding down the road.
And as you well know, whatever goes up must come down. It's not good. And, well, fortunately, no one was hurt there. This also happened as we go here. We move over to 29th Street, Odie. As we go here, this would be in the 3000 block of 29th Street. Now, again, this is just north of Highland Park is where all of this is in that area right there where that went on over the weekend. Also, we got Hooper Street. Now, this would be east of Highway 19 like you're going to College Park. As we pull this up, it would be just east of there. 5th Street is here. Go to your right. That's before you get up here to the College Park area. Gunshots were reported in that area over the weekend. And again, with these that I'm bringing up, nothing happened. No one was hurt. But that's not the way the rest of the weekend would end. We did have a home that was also hit with gunfire, as in somebody went by and shot their home. Now, it is awful that this could happen in our community.
Yeah, you're not even safe in your own home now.
No. 2800 block of 40th Avenue is where we go. Here's what we've got here. Home was hit. The carport door had several rounds in it.
Wow.
Now, fortunately, Odie, no one was hurt there. But their house is, they've got to replace the door or window, whatever the case may be.
Now they're out of money.
Yeah.
Having to fix it and for something that's, Meridian Police is just so swamped right now.
It is.
It's hard to really go after individual cars because they're steadily on calls like this trying to track down leads. So
yeah,
it's hard for them to do the work. They don't have as many officers as they need, and we're still out here chasing shots fired.
Now, this got worse as we find out about the next incident that happened this weekend. And I'm told, I don't know the man personally. I have somebody that knows the man who was shot this week. We had someone shot as we pull this up. We go to the 300 block of 41st Avenue. Meridian Police Department responded there. And this would be a 64-year-old gentleman, is what I'm told his age was. He was shot in the face. Now, it's not life-threatening, but it did strike him somewhere here. Now, as we all know, I don't care where you get hit, it's not going to be good. It may not take your life, but this is going to take some time to recover from. The Meridian Police Department knows who did it. They are in the process of tracking that person. Hopefully they've caught him. I'm not sure if they have or not, but we do wish this gentleman a full recovery. It's a shame, and I'm also told that he was a retired veteran as well. How this happened, I don't know, but he was left lying in the street with a gunshot wound.
Well, at least they've got a name and they know who that they're looking for. So that's a good thing. But society as a whole to even come to that point, I mean, we've got a problem.
We do. And I don't know who it is. I don't have the name and number. But as you look around, you will see that so many of our crimes now are between the ages of, you could even go as low as 12 to 25. Yeah. We've got a generation now, their settlement is to hurt somebody. And the only way that's going to be fixed, you know it as well as I do, Grandma's got to get involved and somebody take in charge of the families. Somebody's got to do something, and you know, the officers can haul these people in, but if the courts don't do their job and push it back out, or the ACLU, I'm one of those that turn around and say, I tell you what, ACLU, here's the thing. If you want them to get out, come down here and you pay for it. You sign on this piece of paper saying that you're responsible for what they do they do from now on. And if they go out and commit murder, you're being charged too. So how do you want to do it? This is our community, and we're going to run it the way we see that we need to. The law says if you do X, you're going to end up with Y, and that's just end of story. Yeah. But now we want to lay down to a group of people that's got money and not do what's right for our communities. They're not even from here. No, not at all. We see that so much. And then you will also see that if this is bad in America, and I think everybody knows where I'm going to go with this, when there is uprising and there's protests, there's people that sit back that hire people to go mingle in that crowd and cause trouble. And then the next thing you know, it's out of control. You know, as America, we got to draw a line. We've got to be tough when times are calling for it. Sometimes if you let a protest go, y'all want to get out here and say your voice, I'm 100% for that. But when you've got somebody bringing pallets of bricks and staging them in certain areas so they'd have something to throw, now we've got a problem. And society is what's losing the grip. It is. I hate to say it, but time to take back our cities. Hey, we had an argument on Highway 19 also this weekend. As you're going up the hill, there's your donuts. You go past that, you go to the next red light. There's two fellas at just an all-out brawl there on the right-hand side of the road. Road rage, I think it was walk rage. They were both walking. One was faster than the other one. No word yet that if this involved a woman or not. Usually most arguments, somewhere. And y'all know this, even goes back to grade school, the little boys arguing. It's over a girl. It's over a girl, one way or another. There's a girl involved. I hate to break the news to you on this, and I don't know if you've been out on this, but I did not realize this. I got a message this weekend that said, hey, I wanted one of them little bitty hamburgers, and I can't get it. Here we go. It is closed. That's tough. Gone. This is Crystals is what we're looking at. The sign says closed. There's a window taped to it. I had no idea that this had happened. You know, I didn't either, and I would go by there ever so often and get you 25 of them so you could have one. Give me a few, and I mean they were good. And now to see it gone, I've read some stories where somebody had said that the interior had caught on fire and had some damage, and you know, is this a permanent closed or if they're remodeling? But you'd think if they were remodeling to reopen that they would put on there remodeling open soon or something, but all signs look like it looks like everybody done packed up and went to the house. And I know they were having trouble with keeping staff also. Well, there's your other problem running around town. Yeah, we've got issues with that. Yeah, everybody wants to be top dog. And now, as you mentioned a moment ago, and I send condolences from the bottom of my heart on this as we get into this next story here. Streets are wet, accidents happen. As we pull this up, this happened in Kemper County yesterday morning at 10 a.m. I spoke with Terry Bostic, the county coroner, and this would be on the outskirts of DeKalb on Old Jackson Road near Stevens Road is where this accident happened. It was a single vehicle accident. A gentleman around the age of 35 lost control of his vehicle. It slammed off the side of the road and he was entrapped. They did get him out and he lost his life in this accident. We send prayers, thoughts to family, friends dealing with this. It's so awful that we ever have to bring up something that happens to this nature.
Yeah, that's tough, and prayers definitely for everybody involved, and just hate to get news like that.
It is. What is up with all these ladies telling you hello?
Well, I mean, you know,
Margie's saying hello to you there.
Oh, look at that. Well, hello, everyone. Good morning. I
Bill,
enjoy being here with y'all this morning.
I'm glad he's here too, folks.
Yeah.
Bill Ronhart saying a good morning to us there. He's making some food there, I think he said.
I tell you, yeah, hamburger joint closed down, and I mean it was a good location.
Yeah, that's hot
wasn't
traffic.
the easiest place to get out of, but it was a good location.
Bill, if I'm not mistaken, used to have a restaurant in Chicago and retired and moved down south with us, and we're so glad to have him here. We have to get you into some southern cooking and open back up, boy.
There we go.
As we go around, we had more accidents on this, and you may know a lot of these with what you do. We had an accident on Charlie Johnson Road over the weekend. Now, this would be in the northern part of the county there, where it meets McWhorter Road near Sam Dale, in that area, in the northern portion right up above where NAS Meridian is. Yeah. Barely in Lauderdale County. We had an accident there with injuries also over the weekend. Nothing that took a life, but still a wreck. We had a vehicle fire. I'm shocked you didn't go to this one.
I was listening. Of course, depending on, where it was one thing that we were
near
kind of
some
looking
gas
at.
pumps.
It was near some gas pumps, but Marion was pretty quick, got there and got that put out, and it was not a hazardous to us anymore. So
it's amazing how you can be driving down the road and all of a sudden your car catch fire, and that does happen.
That does happen.
Whether it's some brush that gets up underneath it or you have a leak on something, it can happen.
All it takes is just a little bit of a oil leak, and you get some of that oil on your manifold or on your mufflers.
And, here's another example of that. Also, the Meridian Fire Department had to bust out in gear and run on down I-20 this weekend as they would run up on an 18-wheeler. And I think it was brakes that caught on fire on this one.
Yep. And that's a huge thing. A lot of the 18-wheeler fires that we deal with start with the brakes catching on fire. And then either they don't know how to use a fire extinguisher, or they waited too long to start using that fire extinguisher, and then it gets out of control. And then that's when we're called, because whatever they've got in the back of that is now
could be bad.
Could be bad, because we don't know what these trucks are hauling, and most of the time the drivers don't speak English. So when they call 911, they don't know exactly how to tell them what they've got in the back. And so
we have a lot of drivers that are from all across, from California, and they just don't speak Southern English like us, and it is kind of tough there.
But the ones who aren't from the United States,
a lot on green cards as well.
Yes,
truck drivers,
and they do not speak English.
Makes it a.
Now it's twice as hard. One of the most dangerous trucks you could go to that's on fire is one that's traveling or hauling to Walmart, Dollar General, something like that, because they've got
household products,
a little bit of everything, and each individual product may be safe, but when they mix with each other,
I didn't think about that.
That's when you have a hazmat situation, and now if you've added fire to it, so we have to take a box truck fire serious until we know for a fact what's in there.
I know this didn't involve you, but I remember, I guess this has been about a year ago, I got a call that said, over here in Smith County, could you please mention not to come down past Highway 15, past Montrose? They had a gas tanker truck that it passed something and it poked a hole into the back of the 18-wheeler where the gas was, and it all went on the road. And it was, don't crank your car, don't have a smoke, don't do nothing. And fortunately, that situation was put down and nothing did happen, but boy, that could have been bad.
Could have been real bad. And now you're having to deal with the product that's already on the ground, and then you have to deal with what product's left in the tank that you've got to offload there on the side of the road. So it's definitely a a long incident when stuff like that happens.
If you lived in Lauderdale over the weekend, up that way, up near Ralph Morgan's house in that area, and you heard a lot of sirens, we had an accident there also on Highway 45 there, and we'll pull this up here. This is right here before you make it into Lauderdale. This is Lauderdale Road where it runs into Highway 45. We had a vehicle accident there this weekend also. Possible injuries with that first responders had to respond to. Nothing major, but it did. And I found this kind of interesting, as I get a lot of things sent in. And, well, we had an eagle sent in. Did you see this?
Yeah, on West Lauderdale Road. I saw the little video. That's
here he is right here.
pretty good.
Y'all see him sitting there? I won't play much of it, but I wanted to just show this old eagle take it off. There he goes.
Look at that.
You don't. I know we have more eagles than you realize in our area, but pretty
Beautiful
neat.
bird. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The bird of freedom, I tell you.
Now, another thing that we did get, and this was Friday, I got from Rose Hill a lot sent, and pictures were flying, and you don't see this very often. Let me show y'all what God did. And I'm going to put it as God did this on Friday. Have y'all seen this?
That is,
Look at this. This is the sky from North Hill Street. Look at that.
I mean, just all of a sudden, that nice line of clouds and blue sky.
That was absolutely gorgeous. And again, I got probably 10, 20 different views of this on Friday afternoon, and I appreciate everybody sending those in. We appreciate you doing that and sharing that with us of what you run into in everyday life up on the streets there. Neat stuff.
Yeah. God is the only one that can do something like that.
You're absolutely right. We had a young lady that is missing from DeSoto County, Mississippi, as we go to MBI. And you go, well, what is MBI? I've heard that on Mississippi Bureau of Investigations. Whenever you hear that, if there's an incident that involves an officer-involved shooting, they come in as a different agency to investigate. But they have a young lady that's missing. She's from DeSoto County. If you're watching, and we share all these different things on our pages, this young lady here is missing there. She's been last seen 2 p.m. there, Horn Lake area. So we do hope that she is found. She was last seen on Saturday. We have a lot of that happening. You've dealt with that in our area as well.
Yeah, it's tough when you get that call and you start getting everything put together and getting everybody involved. And
we've had 2 good endings and one that was not so good. But the young lady that came up missing that was gone for 2 days?
Yeah, she was gone for 2 days. Backtracking, it's hard with her condition to ask her exactly. Say, where'd you go? What'd you do? And all we can do is sit back and try and piece together what we know and the situation when she was found and come up with a conclusion. But as far as knowing exactly, we don't know.
Right.
And then all this is put in, all that information that we do know goes into a national database.
So it helps the next case.
Right. So we use that database and put in all this criteria. Someone of this age with this condition and this type of environment. Was it in the county? Was it in the city? What time of day it was? And it will say, okay, this is where you need to look. And normally within this many feet, this many yards, that many miles from the house. It's not 100% accurate because, I mean, it comes from a group of people.
Yeah.
But it does give us a starting point, and that's why. So last weekend we were out in the water searching a pond, and people were asking why, and it's because the national database is telling us that's where a good possibility that
typically someone would go.
So we have to look at these and get into the water and search. So these databases come in handy, but it only gives you so much, and it's the men and the women that are out helping and the volunteers to do this.
A good ending up by the Evangel Temple. You found it was a young lady that was missing there also that y'all found, right?
Yeah. So that was very God's hand on that one. So I talked to Tasha, who is the deputy director in Clark County EMA, and she had called and she said, "Hey, I want to come help y'all with the lady that's missing in town tomorrow morning. And I said, look, that's fine. I said, we're going to meet at the office at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, something like that. And I said, so just meet me there and then we'll go out. And she said, okay. So she called me that morning, and, you know, we've got each other's channels on our radio, so they were able to keep up with what's going on. And she called me and she said, look, there's this lady that's on the side of the road. And she said, I'm going to stop and see if she's okay. So I called the deputy that was out there, and I talked to him and said, all right, what does she look like? And he told me, and I relayed that to Tasha, and Tasha said, I found her. She's right here. So I was able to get back with the sheriff's department and say, hey, Clark County EMA has got her right north of your area on 45, and everything came to a great ending.
That's one of those things of sometimes you don't know why you're going somewhere, but God puts you in places to help others.
God puts you there.
He does.
It wasn't for her to come help with this other search. God needed Tasha right here.
That's right.
And he sent her right there in that one spot, and, man, it was a great outcome.
Coming up, we're going to test Odie's ability to go back in time and see if he knows anything that happened on this date. We're going to do that next. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been in business for over 10 years, and they have over 30 vendors inside, with a rotating inventory to fit that something special that you're looking for. The inventory constantly is updating, and there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located at 335 West Main Street, where you'll bump into a friend, and, well, we'll treat you like family. Are you looking for a trustworthy place to buy your next car or truck? Visit my friends at Massey Supermart Auto Sales. They've been doing business since 1955. There's a reason they've been in business for so long. They have fair prices, superior service, and repeat customers. For your next quality pre-owned vehicle, it's Massey Supermart Auto Sales. Taking care of your car needs at 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Welcome back. I'm your friend, Scotty Ray. Debbie is out, unfortunately, under the weather this morning, that she's under the impression that I may have given it to her. And Odie has so graciously come in this morning.
Well, you called, and I said, well, of course, I'll come in, help my buddy out, and I'll come sit down for the good Debbie. But I know I was a rude awakening to some of y'all, opening your TV up this morning. Whoa, that does not
No
look
blonde
as good
hair
as
there,
her.
was it?
Yeah, my hair's shorter.
Let's take a moment and step back and look at a few things that happened on this day. I didn't realize that, and it would take some 30 years later before they figured out that they really ought to get a Secret Service. But the very first time in American history that a president would be threatened would be on this date in 1835 when someone attempted to assassinate Richard Lawrence. He misfired there at Andrew Jackson. Of course, he was the president of the people, by the people, and invited everybody over to the White House and then knocked out all the windows. Do you remember that?
I mean, there was I don't remember that part. But,
with all sincerity, he had his inaugural address, and after it was over, said, hey, come on back to the White House. And they commenced to eating everything that was there. They knocked out windows, and it was a brawl, and they had to take the chicken out on the front lawn to draw everybody out of the White House to get them out of there.
I was watching something, and it was one of the presidents that got this 1 ton of cheese or something from a country. And it was going to go bad if he didn't eat it. So he opened up the White House and said, y'all, please come on and
try it out.
Eat the cheese. And they ate all the cheese. But that was before they had fences and gates and everything.
You can't get within 2 miles of the place now. I had no idea on this next thing. But I may have to start looking at history as a little bit different, as maybe Betsy Ross was really a hot thing.
Well, that portrait.
I have never seen, and I was looking around for pictures of Betsy Ross, and I run up on this and I said, whoa.
All I remember is wanting her in that rocking chair.
Yeah. But that's Betsy without her kerchief. What do you call those little hats they used to wear?
Kerchief.
Yeah, is that what they called it?
Well, no, I think that's what the fella wears.
With the Santa Claus thing on it.
Yeah.
But that's the first portrait of Betsy Ross that I've seen her without that whatever that thing is on her head.
Yeah. So now we have a different view.
She was kind of attractive.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my favorite actors. This guy is good in everything that he's ever done. If you've ever seen the movie Behind Enemy Lines, if you've ever watched the one with Will Smith, Enemy of the State, the list just goes on and on of what he's done. But does anybody remember the guy, Gene Hackman? He is 92 years young today.
That is, and still going strong.
I like that fella.
He's a good actor.
He's one of those that when he says something, I tend to believe it. He never has all of these. He's just an American, just point blank.
He's not going to fall for. Of course, now he's seen it all too.
I'm sure,
and he knows what going down the wrong path may.
Now, I don't think you or I were here in 1933, but a legend began today. It did. It was 1933, the year that my dad was born. He would be on the radio for the first time and later would be introduced to people after television came along. But Hi-Ho Silver, the Lone Ranger, made his debut on radio today in Detroit in 1933.
I remember Daddy got the cassettes. You know, that was back when you ordered something out of a magazine and it took 4 to 8 weeks to get it delivered. And so here comes this package, and Daddy opened it, and it's all these cassette tapes, and I'm thinking, what is this? Because I was a little feller. And he started playing it, and it was the Lone Ranger and the Green Hornet and all these different old radio programs.
Yeah.
And so I'd sit there and listen to him on the tape deck with him. But yeah,
Pretty cool
Lone
stuff.
Ranger is pretty good.
Margie, thank you so much for answering for what I could not for the life of me come up with. She said it's a bonnet.
A bonnet, there we go. See, it's the
The
simple
Little
thing.
House on the Prairie look.
Yeah.
It used to be the rage of the town.
That
It's kind of lost its oomph now.
before they got a brush.
Yeah, there you go. But Betsy Ross, thank you so much for telling me that. I couldn't think of it for anything. 1937, there would be a song later, and if I am not mistaken, this would be, what's his name that wrote it, that was in Convoy, the main actor, which I'm drawing a blank. Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
Chris Christopherson would pen a song called Satin Sheets to Lie On. Satin Sheets. I think he wrote that. Bill, double check me there and see if I'm right on that. But Jeannie Pruitt, the lady that made it famous, Long Black Cadillacs, and the song which went on and on. And what it's about is about this lady who's married to a rich guy and he gives her everything, but she still ain't happy.
Oh, well, of course not.
No, she wasn't. She liked that old boy that was dirt poor that she dated in high school.
That's right. Didn't have anything to offer.
Kind of reminds you of a Johnny Paycheck song. And if y'all, 10 points to you if you can think of the Johnny Paycheck song I'm thinking of. Do you know where I'm going with? He was slide off of your satin sheets. Whenever he's gone, I get the call.
Yeah.
What a beautiful mansion he built you.
Ain't that the truth?
And
then
every
turn
time her
around.
husband would leave town, she'd call him. And he'd go, Same principle, saying differently. 1951, a lot of you, and those of you who were not into country music who liked this guy, and the only reason I knew him for the first time was a movie called Romancing the Stone. He had the song to it. Who remembers Phil Collins? He was born on this date in 1951.
He's got some good music.
Genesis, wasn't that the group that he was in?
I think it was.
I don't know a lot about that, but I'm learning as I go.
Amy, what is it? She's smart with this music stuff. I never knew it, and I don't have to now because I got her.
Well, you got your soulmate there to handle everything. She don't even let you
lovely
think.
bride. No, I don't have to.
She
with
just
her.
tells you.
She tells me, I just okay.
Everybody that's married goes, yeah. I get that. 1956. Now, Carl Perkins would be famous for doing this, but Carl had no idea that he'd be overshadowed by somebody else that would take his stuff and do better at it. As 1956 rolled in, Blue Suede Shoes was recorded today in 1956 by Elvis.
Wow. Isn't that something?
You know, they
Blue
did
Suede.
several shows in the state of Mississippi and did that song.
Yeah. We I remember waking up Sunday mornings. We listened to some gospel before we were off to church, and then after that, Mama loved Elvis, and so we had to listen to Elvis too. The Blue Suede Shoes.
Elvis was there's just nothing like the man. One of the greatest there ever was, and in my book, was it.
It was it, and that was my favorite song. Was Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog.
Yeah, ain't nothing but a hell.
I
And if you
loved
go back and listen to the original song, it sounds nothing like the original. It was a blues song, and he took it and changed it to what suited him. I liked it a whole lot. What else went on today? Now, there's a lot of you. Me and Debbie joked about this the other day. If you watched Airplane, the movie, and there were so many funny scenes in it, but it was the two gentlemen there. They were speaking. Nobody could underturn. She goes, I speak jive.
Hey, but you know, on that airplane, that was what's her name from the Brady Bunch?
Yeah.
And she.
It's
You
funny.
just have to. You just gotta watch it.
Who remembers the Bee Gees? They went in and recorded Jive Talking. I gotta say, I was not a Bee Gees fan. Their music was not my kind of music. I was more into the Hello, Darling.
That's oh Lord! And then here comes the Bee Gees. Huh?
Yeah, and their sound was different, but there was a lot of people that really liked that. I just, if I had a choice of Bee Gees or I Still See the Want To in Your Eyes by Conway, I'm going with Conway, y'all.
I have to go with the Bee Gees.
You're a Bee Gees, so you were. What was the song? I can tell by the way you're a woman's man. I'm a woman's man.
Yeah.
Something from Saturday Night Fever.
I have to ask Amy again what the name.
So you
of that is.
you were a Bee Gees?
Yeah, I like that kind of music, and I like a little rock, and so a little bit of everything. And I listen to some country. I listen to a little bit of all of it, really.
I'm gonna have to educate you. I see that now.
I like good music. Doesn't matter what the genre is.
Yeah, that's a big word for a lot of us.
That took me a little while to get that prepared.
Yeah, you thought about it. Thought I'm going to use it this week somewhere. 1977, and Odie, me and you are kind of close to the same age. I can remember a kid of seeing the previews that this was going to start coming on.
Yeah.
And they drove around in a van. I thought, well, that's pretty cool there. That was kind of famous back in the 70s.
Yep.
Who remembers the debut of the Hardy Boys? It premiered tonight. And that was that guy,
77.
Cassidy, who had that song, It's a Saturday Night, and S-A-T-U-R.
What is that? Yeah. Now my brain's not wanting to think.
That was your kind of music. I'm giving you the opportunity there.
It'll come to me.
But he was real big. Now, there's another famous person, as we talk about all types of music, who passed away, and there's a lot of you that are going to know this guy. That when I bring up his name, Lightning Hopkins passed away on this date. One of the best blues players there ever was. Passed away in 1982 on this. Best known for a song called Ball of Twine. Great singer.
Love some good blues.
Love it
to
too.
Kind of put them on and sit back. Yeah.
1982, Odie was trying to figure out how to sit on a motorcycle, as this was one of the biggest TV shows.
And one of my favorite shows, I tell you.
So who did you
loved it.
prefer, John or Ponch? Who was your favorite out of that?
Poncherello.
Poncherello.
Because we actually have the same birthday, so I always related to him.
And I'm going to go ahead and just bust a bubble for everybody. If you made the mistake and watched the remake of that they sent to the theaters, that was sad.
Yes, it was.
That was really sad.
Upset. Same with the remake of Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, my
Ought to be
heaven.
ashamed. somebody ought to be slapped for both of that.
Uncle Jesse smoking dope.
And talking like that. Nope.
And they even had nudity in it.
Yeah.
Bo and Luke did not stand for that.
No. And if you want to make a movie that's got that, you make your own movie and call it whatever you want. But You leave these two shows alone, but yeah, I was ashamed to even watch that.
The only thing that came out of the remake of the Dukes of Hazzard was the General Lee. That was the star of the show. It was beautiful.
Yep.
But outside of that, it was somebody, and I won't even say the name of that TV show that a guy that played Luke was in, because it's a bad name that I'm not going to say on TV. But how could you do that to role models for kids? How?
Yeah, destroyed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anybody that goes and looks at the original, and how can you take away what they portrayed in this new one?
Yeah,
Doesn't make any sense.
Me and Odie on agreement here.
That's it.
Y'all don't rush off. We got more to say. We're coming right back. I promise.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
Welcome back. Now let's talk about something that you need every day, and that's what they do at the Farm Supply. They got a little bit of everything. If you need a shovel, let me tell you, they can put you in the right direction there. And so much to choose from work gloves. If you need some nails, they've got that. Anything to mend fences, and, well, relaxing time. From sitting down and sitting back and getting you a swing. Maybe that's what you've been looking for. As we get ready for spring, they're already getting the garden center ready for whatever you may need. Fertilizer. Still a few jackets in case there's a cold snap. We don't know that it's going to happen, but they're prepared one day for you to come in and get a coat. As we come across his sunglasses when it's bright, and, well, caps and ball caps if you need a good one of those. And for the last 2 days of deer season, they still got what you need there. Maybe you're missing something. They've got it for you there, including boots for these wet days to keep your feet dry. See them. They'll take care of your horse and cattle and all those, and donkeys and goats and anything else that you may have. See them at the Farm Supply, exit 151. Did you look up Sean Cassidy to see what it was that he's saying?
I did, and I'm trying to find some more. And then I got a text that said Betty Billingsley was the mom on Leave It to Beaver. She was the one on Airplane, and I remember her too. So I think it was her and Florence. But and I trust this message right here. You know, this.
That comes from the wife.
It comes from no. I have to give that, and that comes from another smart person that I trust.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Clayton Cobbler. So
Clayton, how are you doing?
So I believe him. So it's got on here. It's got the TV shows that he did, or
I
the
got
movie
it right
series. Here. So let's see.
The song that I couldn't think of that Sean Cassidy done, and y'all is going to hit you when I say this: "I do run, 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 I do run, run." Yeah. I met her on a Saturday night. I do run, run.
Yeah.
I need to quit singing.
Why couldn't I think about that? Because now that's stuck in my head. I do run, 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 I do run. I'll be singing that.
And they claim that he's got 9 other hits that I've never heard of. I've never heard of the rest of those.
Wikipedia didn't do a real good job on this one.
Oh, look, Denise beat us to it, and I didn't even see it up there. She'd already put it up there about the do-run.
See, we should have just asked Denise to tell us. First off, we wouldn't have to rely on Google.
Well, and Delina makes a very good point here. If you want to hear some of the best, he was a Mississippi boy. Sam Cooke did another version of Another Saturday Night and I Ain't Got Nobody. So if you want good music, check that out. Yep. That is one of the best there is. Now, as we've talked about different things, I want to talk about something that's a little serious as we get into this. As I spoke with the sheriff of Neshoba County, Eric Clark, there are crimes that happen in our communities that I guess any crime is bad, but when children are involved in any manner that are done wrong, to me it ups it, just like fooling with a church and fooling with God. This is a line that you don't cross.
Yep.
We go to Southern American Media to pull this up this morning, and this is the press releases we got from our friends Eric Clark there in Neshoba County. They've arrested 2 gentlemen, and I want to talk about this. They're both 59 years old. They were arrested for sex crimes against children. Eddie Mowdy and Odie Barrett. Now, again, before you go before a jury, you're innocent until proven guilty, but they have both been arrested for sex crimes involving a 5-year-old female and the production of child pornography within a 16-year-old female victim. The crimes occurred between November 22 and January of this year. A family member saw photos. They called the police department, and they reported this. And as we go back on this, both these gentlemen have prior problems with this. Now, you can go to our website and pull up the arrest report and read everything about it. And I want you to do that. Now, again, I say, until you go before the judge and the gavel slaps down, you're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law in the United States. Very serious charges that are brought forth against these gentlemen. We will see where this turns out.
When you've got children like that, I just... And now he really made me mad because his name's Odie going to do something like that, put a shade over me.
That's right.
Me and that little dog is mad right now.
I understand. But y'all think about that now. A 5-year-old child, 5 years old. We should be outraged if something like this could happen in our communities. Thank goodness that this has been brought to light. There's a lot of other child abuse that happens in our communities that, well, there's a lot of times that it's not known to the public. And I'll word it that way. There's things that go on behind closed doors that not a lot of people know about. Stories that don't always make the headlines. And I'll leave it at that.
Talking about another judge and jury, if that's true and they did this and they end up in jail, there's a whole nother jury that's fixing to try these guys. And when they find out there was a 5-year-old female or any kid, but a child like that, they're going to wish that they'd never done this.
There's a different judgment day there, and we all know that exists.
Yep.
It does.
I've heard rumors at a certain one that if you really caused a problem, that a pink bunny rabbit would come up there
and handle that. And, Jeff Cleveland said that, and I hope I didn't say that by accident. He said, I don't call them gentlemen. And I may have accidentally said that when I was talking about that. So if I did, I take it back. It was a slip of the tongue there. But a very serious crime in our area there, and we think that you ought to know about it. Read the story for yourself. The next time you bump into Eric Clark, talk to him. He'll tell you about these cases that come about. Any law enforcement officer will. We've got some great ones in our area there who protect our area. We thought you might want to know that. It is. As we look around the state of Mississippi, one of the biggest scandals that ever hit the state of Mississippi is going on right now, and it has been delayed for a little while. A federal judge has delayed sentencing of John Davis. He was in charge of that welfare money that was spent, illegally. We know what we're talking about when we get volleyball fields built, $5 million that was supposed to go to the poor.
Yeah, and I was ashamed to see him come out. You do not need the money, and if you really care about Mississippi as a whole, you would have done these press conferences for free.
Absolutely.
So far was really something that really took me by surprise.
It's a lot more people in this, and there's still rumbles of higher up people in the state of Mississippi still may be held accountable. We'll see what becomes of that as that goes up the poll there.
Yep.
Well, good morning to you. We'll be right back. We got more to talk about. It ain't over yet. They hadn't switched the button yet. We're still here. We'll be right back.
If it is time for another car or truck for your family, see our friends at Interstate Auto. They're located on North Frontage Road in Meridian, just down from IHOP. They offer bank rate financing. All applications are accepted with over 14 years in business, and they offer you a fair price. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. and Saturday 9 until 2. Appointments available after hours as well. Remember, all roads lead to Interstate Auto, 802 North Frontage Road, Meridian, 601-483-6977.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Shelby County Co-op in Philadelphia, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been in business for over 10 years, and they have over 30 vendors inside, with a rotating inventory to fit that something special that you're looking for. The inventory constantly is updating, and there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located at 335 West Main Street, where you'll bump into a friend, and, well, we'll treat you like family. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, we'll travel.
As we talk about Chet, one of our close friends there, that's one of our sponsors that take care of things, and what they do, well, they fix cars a whole lot. You would be shocked as to how many people bump into a deer or a grocery cart or something that damage their stuff and need to put back together again. Chet's there, and he's been in the community a long time. Got one of the best names that you will ever bump into. A handshake, that's all it's going to take there. There's no contracts involved with that. He gives you his word, and he'll put it back together the way it should be. From being side impacted to front end damage, whatever that case is, to having a classic car that you won't put back to the way it was. Sometimes there's more sentimental value on a car than anything. They can take care of that for you. Visit with Chet and his friendly staff there in Center Hill and the Curve. They'll take care of all of it for you there. You'll enjoy it. Good, it is. That's a good way to do it.
Good people.
Good people. Yep. Jeff Bates had a song called that one time called Good People. Getting close to the top of the hour as we get ready for this. And again, remember, it's going to be foggy through at least 9 o'clock this morning. We want you to keep that in mind as we begin our day. A guy from Baton Rouge visited Mississippi. He's not going to forget it too long.
No, he'll have a souvenir.
He stole an RV in Mississippi. He's getting 25 years in the pen for it. Now, do I think that he will stay in prison 25 years for that? Probably not. But they're going to give him something to think about there. Done a bunch of damage. He broke. It was somebody, you know how you store your camper? And they had it stored, and he broke into it, drove right through all the gates, tore up the camera.
That's crazy. And knowing you're going to get caught, you can't hide a Winnebago going down the road.
I mean, yeah, they kind of stick out.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Smokey and the Bandit, and that's all I'm going to say. Couldn't hide it.
Yeah,
they arrested Buford T. Justice right there on the scene.
I've been chasing. You know who I am.
That was funny. Thank y'all for dropping by and spending some time with us. And Odie, I can't thank you enough for filling in and being Deb for a day.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me a call, and enjoy coming on with you, Scotty Ray.
I'll be back in the morning. We do hope Debbie gets a little bit better. And thank you, each and every one of you, for stopping by and spending a few moments with you. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: